Woo, 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 woo. It's another Sunday night, y'all. Listen, I am. Can you hear me? Is my mic on? I'm super excited tonight. Listen, it's going to be a good show. But let me just start from the top. Let me take it to the top. This is Dr. Kesslin with the PhD Consultants. I am so excited. Did I say so excited? I am so excited for tonight's show. It has been one that has been in the making. Let me get my mic together. It is one that has been in the making for a moment, and I am super excited. So listen, Dr. Kesslin with the PhD Consultants. This is the Doing the Doctorate Podcast, where we give you information to help you get in, through, and out of your doctoral program. You know, I don't do this work alone. So in honor of Dr. O, who is not with us tonight, I'm just going to do a, hey, oh, all by myself. Hey, oh, even though she's not here. Candace, if you ever watch the show, you know that's how I bring in my co-host, Dr. O. I miss her. She is doing her thing. She's doing what doctors do. Let me also say happy Palm Sunday for those of you who are joining us. Happy Palm Sunday. This is the beginning of Holy Week for many of us, and we celebrate our Christian heritage during this week. So happy Palm Sunday. Listen, we start the show with a thought. We have a Doing the Doctorate thought to kick off our show. And tonight's thought is specifically for tonight. We've been talking about legacy for the last 7 or 8 weeks. Our focus for this season has been on legacy. It's been on legacy. And so tonight's thought is doctoral legends leave roadmaps for others to follow along their journey. Doctoral legends leave roadmaps for others to follow along their journey. Listen, if you're not leaving some crumbs for others to follow to make it easier on their path, then I'm going to challenge you to take that step. Do what doctors do and leave a path for someone behind you. Leave a path, leave some crumbs, leave some wisdom, leave some words of encouragement for someone who's coming behind you. And normally I would say, oh, what's your thoughts about that? And she would say, you know, and she would drop a O-ism because that's what she does. But tonight we don't have O with us. I miss you, O. I love you, O. Doing what doctors do. Tonight we have, I am so super excited to have in studio. Well, okay. In his studio, not in mine. In Atlanta. In Atlanta. I am so thankful to have my friend, my partner in this work, this education world. I am so happy to have him with us. Have you ever met someone who spent 25 years in school? 25. Have you ever met someone who earned 3 college degrees but didn't pay a single penny to receive one of them? You ought to say yes, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Have you ever met someone who, check this out, y'all, performed at the Olympic Games and the very next day was working at NASA building a military jet? Have you ever met someone like that? I would suggest that you probably have not, because until I met this brother, I hadn't either. This evening, we have with us Candace Simmons, internationally renowned speaker, coach, businessman, money man, because that's what we're talking about tonight. Welcome to the show, Candace. Welcome to the show.
Dr. Kesslin, you know, it's always a pleasure when I get to see your face, get to see you with the shindigs on your head.
You know, I got the tam on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but I'm honored. Like I know we talked about this podcast some months ago, maybe years ago, and I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
And your whole team for pulling this off. And look at here, I'm on the show now.
You on the show. Candace, right. I was looking at Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. And just today, 2 years ago, the memory was a podcast. And I said, wow, I've been doing this for 2 years.
Wow.
It doesn't even, believe it. And I don't know if you remember,
Mhm.
but when I first met you, I didn't even want to get in front of a camera. Like,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I-
But you know, the thing about it though, it's like, I think the very first time you and I jumped on a video call, I was like, oh, you're doing something that people really need. I know you
mm,
have been doing the PhD consultant work, and I think you were doing hourly
yes,
training for individuals, and
yes,
we spent a few hours, on that call, just sort of retooling
yeah,
what you're doing, because there are thousands upon thousands of individuals that I know in this world who are looking to get a doctoral degree.
yeah.
You and I have even talked about me finishing my doctoral degree, right? And
Let me see if the mic is on. Tap, tap, tap.
but people need the information. It was like, and I was so honored that when you and I met, there was so much synergy, because for years I've been helping people get to a place of paying for their undergraduate degree for free.
Mhm,
That
mhm,
was
mhm.
that was my testimony. The three
Yeah,
degrees there, did them all on scholarships, and because of the things I've been doing in the school space, speaking at schools, speaking at colleges, speaking to parents, the number one question that they will always ask me is like, "Yo, Candace, like, how can I get some money for
yes,
college?" You know,
yes,
and so, but when I
yes,
met you, I was like, "Ooh." I talk about getting money for college. You talk about getting money for this doctoral degree, and
that's
I've been
right.
seeing this synergy from day one. And
Yeah,
I'm glad that we have something really cool
yes.
for your people tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. So,
Yeah,
y'all, the thought was legends leave breadcrumbs. Legends
yeah,
leave information and resources for others. You have a legend on tonight in Mr. Cantor Simmons. You have a legend, and the beautiful thing about tonight is we're talking about the crumbs that we're gonna leave, the resources that we're gonna share tonight. We're gonna talk a little bit about something that we have in the works: how to get your doctoral degree, your graduate degree for free. So
yeah.
Candace, you and I, I've had this session on how to get your doctoral degree for free
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
for a minute, and people always come and they always ask about, where's the money, doc? You say I can. I was on this morning in a Facebook group, and someone asked the question, how do I get this degree without taking out loans? And I'm like,
Hmm.
listen, you need to come to you need to join us. Listen to
Yeah,
the podcast tonight, and there's some information that we're going to share. So listen, it's something that's been in the works. And so
yeah.
I'm thankful. So let me just hop back into script. And
Hmm.
what we usually do around this time, Candace, is for those who may be watching, I'm just asking everybody to put your information in the chat, in the comments. We want to know if you have a doctoral degree. Let's say in honor of tonight's subject, if you have a graduate degree, a master's degree, a doctoral degree, put it in the comments and let us know who you are, what your degree is in, and where you received it from. And why do we do that? We
Hmm.
do it because we want to inspire other people to know, yes, you can get a doctoral degree in this subject. You can get a master's degree in this subject. Candace, I just learned a few weeks ago that your master's degree was it in textile?
Yes,
Well,
one
you
of
have
them.
two.
Yep,
You have two.
yep, yep, yep. That's a whole real cool story there. But yeah, two master's degrees, and Dr. Kessler, when I was going through undergrad, so of course I went to Norfolk State University where I got a BS degree in chemistry.
Come on, green and
And
gold. Come on,
green and
green and
gold,
gold.
behold the green and gold, exactly.
Hey.
And I remember one of my professors, he made a comment to me, and I never forget it. He said, "If you want to earn more, then learn more. Become a
Mm,
perpetual student." He said, "Yeah, if you want to earn more life, then learn more, become a perpetual student." And I was
mm,
an undergrad. That's when I was pursuing my BS degree in chemistry. And, I was looking at the opportunities that were out there as a BS in chemistry, with a chemistry degree. But I thought about that. Well, you know what? I think I want to earn more. And so I started researching this, this graduate school life. And the cool thing about my undergraduate life, it was that I was able to go to college all on scholarships. I had
Mhm.
leftover money. I saw something
Mm.
today, a young lady
Wait a
on
minute. Wait a minute. He said leftover
a
money.
little leftover money, a little
Yeah.
leftover money.
Yeah.
But I thought it was so amazing. Earlier, I was on Instagram, and one of my colleagues who also works in the scholarship space, one of her mentees had so much extra scholarship money
Mm,
that this girl was able to buy a car
mm, mm,
with the
mm,
leftover,
mm,
with the leftover.
mm,
But I remember, I was like,
mm.
wow, if I was able to find money for undergrad, can I do it for grad school? And so I did it for grad school, and my first master's degree was in polymer science and engineering. Polymer
And
science
when you
engineering.
first said that, I said, what is that?
Polymers mean many mers, right? Poly,
Mhm,
many, mer
mhm,
is many carbon chains. So a polymer are all the things that polymers make up: plastics, make up rubbers, make up composites. And so if you look around your room, look in your home, we got plastics everywhere, right? We got plastics in the
mhm,
bottles, in the camera, in our cell phones. That's the backbone of those materials, is a polymer. So it's in the
mm,
area of materials. And so I got that from Lehigh University up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Not
mhm.
Bethlehem in the Bible, but Bethlehem that's in Pennsylvania.
Up the street, up the
And
street.
right up the street, right? And while I was going, I don't know if I've ever told you the story. So I
Mm.
actually, oh my goodness, I actually went to Lehigh to pursue my PhD. So
You know good and well you
no,
never
you
told
didn't.
me that story.
This is
Stop
like one of my
playing.
big regrets. All right. So yeah, I was pursuing my doctoral degree. It had straight from my BS, they had a
Mhm,
route
mhm.
to the PhD. All
Yes,
right.
some schools
And
do.
so
Mhm.
as I was pursuing my PhD at Lehigh University in polymer science and engineering, how about midways, my my advisor, he wanted to go on sabbatical. So if anybody know what that means, he wanted to
He
leave.
said he needed a break
Right. He needed a break. He
in
needed
the
a
middle of
break.
your education.
Right.
Yes.
He needed a break in the
Uh-huh.
middle. I was like in my second year, starting
Mhm.
to really work on the research and the dissertation and stuff. I got through most of the classes. And about midways, he was just like, yo, I want to go on sabbatical. Then he wanted to go to New Mexico to work at Sandia National Laboratories there. And so I
Mhm.
had a decision. I was like, all right, number one, should I follow him to New Mexico? Should I
Because some
start,
people do. Some people would do it. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
From Decatur, in Decatur, Georgia, Decatur where it's greater, right? And so, uh, yeah, I could have went to New Mexico, but then I thought about it. I was like, if I go out there, it's going to prolong my dissertation and PhD probably, right? Then I had the thought, well, let me jump to another advisor. All right. So this is probably that period of my life where I needed a Dr. Kessler. Like I probably
Mhm.
needed a Dr. Kessler around those years. And
Mhm.
so I decided, well, let me just go ahead and finish my master's degree
Mhm.
and move to Georgia Tech. Move back to Atlanta to go to Georgia Tech to finish this doctoral degree. All right. So when I got to Georgia Tech, I was pursuing this doctoral degree. But the amazing thing, I was caught in a partnership between Georgia Tech and NASA Langley Research Center. Now, people don't know
Mm.
this. Sometimes one of the ways that you can pay for your graduate degree, a lot of organizations, companies, government agencies have partnerships with universities. So I had started working with NASA as an undergrad up through grad school. There was part of my partnership there at Lehigh, part of my
Mhm.
partnership
Mhm.
with them with the Georgia Tech. But
Yes.
when I was in the program again, I felt as if I was being paid a graduate student stipend at Georgia Tech, but I was doing professional folk work at NASA. I think I was
Mhm.
getting paid $13,000 as a graduate student, right?
Oh. Oh.
And I probably needed a Dr. Kessler at this point in my life. I was back and forth. And I felt like a lower class research scientist being paid on a graduate fellowship.
Yeah.
And that was because of that partnership.
Yeah.
And I had to run to the money. And so I ended up finishing a second master's degree and never completed that PhD. And I decided to go work full time. So the second degree was in textile and fiber engineering.
Okay.
So the first was in polymer science, second was in textile and fiber engineering. And I was so deep in the research that I was like, you know what? Let me go get this real money that you guys are, giving me at NASA. And so I decided to go for the real money. And if I had a regret, if I had one regret, Dr. Kesslin, my only regret in life was to not finish that doctoral degree because it was paid for. Like the money was there, right? But because I was caught up in, like I said, I probably needed a Dr. Kesslin in my life at that time to say, hey, keep going,
because in the end,
right. In the end, I mean, it paid off and it did well, but I've always thought, you know what, how much more would I have received in acknowledgement, received in salary, received in clout, received in satisfaction, right? Because I went on and finished the full process of getting that doctoral degree. So that's how I ended up with 2 master's degrees. So
I never heard that story before.
Yep.
And I've heard a lot of stories. Candace, what? So all them times I've been telling you, Candace, you can go back. You can get it. It's not too late.
But that's the power of what we're talking about tonight. Like the money was there, right? The money was there. Like I said, NASA was a part of my fellowship. I had some other money and stuff coming in. And as a graduate student, they were paying me, a monthly stipend. Now, at that time, it was, I remember it was $13,500, right? And, but yeah, I decided to go for the more thousands. I fell in love at the time, and
that makes
they say you gotta go 50-50, 100-100. I don't know what they're saying in the streets, dating, married life, So I had to go pay some bills. And,
listen, you had to grow up real quick. We had to grow up
real quick, and I went to go get the big check, but the money was out there. Like,
so listen,
it was paid for. Yeah.
And it's still out there.
Right.
So I'm gonna do my plug. Come on. And let me just, let me just be real. We need more brothers with doctoral degrees. We do. I mean, we just do. We do. So, bruh.
Yep.
We're gonna talk.
And, I think that was the thing, like Dr. Kesslin, like, all while I've been doing the work that I do, traveling and speaking at schools and stuff like that, in colleges, and like I was a minority. So when I left Norfolk State and I ended up going to Lehigh University, I was a minority, right? I was like that only brother, right? There in
the polymer science department.
In the polymer field, right? And then when I went to Georgia Tech, I was like one of the only brothers, right? And then when I went to NASA, I was like one of the only brothers at that level doing the high research that I was doing, right? And then after leaving NASA and I transitioned and started working at SIBA Vision, right? I was like one of the only brothers, but I would have been like the only brother with the doctors and the letters before, after my name, just depending on where I wanted to place it. But right. But the idea is, here's something that's so amazing. Because I was one of the only brothers, people looked at me differently. There was a sense of respect when I walked in the room, because it was like, yo, who is this guy? We don't see many of his kind here, right? And so there was a level of respect there. And I actually walked in like I was carrying all of my ancestors on my shoulders, like, hey, I have to represent for the culture. But the reality that I've seen is that people are always wondering, like, yo, how did you make it here? How did you do it?
Yes.
How did you get this money? Like, how did you end up landing your
Yeah.
dream job? How did you end up traveling the world? And I've learned that if you can solve problems, people will always give you paper, right? Meaning money, right?
Wait,
If you
now
can
see,
solve
that's
problems,
not an oism. Put that in the chat. Somebody put it in.
yeah, like if you can solve problems, people will always give you paper. And one of the things that I love about the graduate degree and a doctoral degree, it moves you up the ladder to solve more challenging problems.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
And the more challenging of the problem that you can solve, then the more paper that people will give you. But it's not just about the paper. There's this level of prestige. There's this level of honor. There's this level of significance, I feel like comes with understanding that, hey, the work that you're doing in your area is really changing people's life. And that's why I love, encouraging people. It's like, hey, go get a graduate degree, because if you can have, like, there are some problems that are just easy to solve, right? There's some problems that's been around for years, but when you take the time to get a graduate degree and you sit down and you do research and you're working on a thesis and you're putting ideas together and you're looking at, challenges from the past and bringing them into the future and create new solutions. It's like, wow, there's a sense of purpose. There's a sense of, like you use the word legacy, right? Like my name is on this. Like I help, I participate, like I'm part of the new history, right? Maybe one day I'll be in the Black history books, right?
And let me tell you what's a trip with that. What's a trip with that at the doctoral level is when somebody says, I quoted you or I referenced your work. You referenced my work. Coolest thing I think that may have ever happened in that regard. One of my friends, who is now a doctor, she just offended last week. Come on, I won't call her name. She hadn't acknowledged it publicly yet, but she was in class. And we had written this article together. So it had my name and, a few others and her name. And her classmate said, wait, is this your name on this article? And she chuckled. She said, yeah, it is. And then she texted me. She said, Kesslin, we are reading our article in my doctoral class. That is the coolest thing. Like people see you as a legend. Like you're leaving your work to change the world. And it really is like, it is just such an honor. Such an honor. Yeah, you are impacting the world through your work. And there's nothing to me that's better. That's what we're here for, to make the world a better place, right?
Dr. Kesslin, I have one of your books here, right? Like The Degree of Persistence, right?
First book.
Yeah, and I have a book here, right? Right.
Yes.
And these are books, right? These are books. But I remember walking in the library and you can see the thesis and the dissertations, and then that nice thick binding of all of that work. You got yours there?
Like, listen, it's my inspiration. Here it is.
Right. Like look at that versus look at this, right? It's like a thump factor. Like, people, we write books to help people, but it's something about seeing your thesis binded or seeing your doctoral dissertation binded up. And people reference it. They reference it for things that they're working on. I think that's so cool. It's like if anybody is on the verge of contemplating whether you should or whether you shouldn't, hey, take it from me. Like, go ahead and finish it. Like, the money will always be there. Like, figure it out. You got a Dr. Kesslin in your life now. You got this great podcast in your life. Like, go ahead and do the doctorate. Go ahead and do it while you have the opportunity, because guess what? Those 2 or 3 extra years over the span of life, over the span of your career, they're minimal, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
But it's out there.
So we are both committed to helping people go to school for free. A lot of people, as we said earlier, a lot of people say, I can't afford to do it. Like, but you don't have to afford to do it. There are resources available for you. Candace talked about, graduating and having a little money in his pocket. I had a similar experience when I finished. One university, I won't call their name, sent me a check. And I was like, what is this for? What is this for? That was cool. But there is money out there for you to do. There's money out there, you all. And we want to show you where the money is. So, Candace, you want to drop the nugget, or you want me to drop it?
I'll drop it. I'll even lead into it.
All right, here we go.
So Dr. Keston, so I've been working with people for years because students coming out of high school, parents, with their high school student looking for money for college, right? And so for years, been helping people find locate and land college scholarships. But what we're seeing is a lot of people are realizing that just having a BS degree is not enough, right? And so people now are like, man, I want to go get a master's degree, right? Like you can get a master's degree in law, in music, in divinity. You can get a master's degree in business. You can get a master's degree in science, dental,
education, social work,
education, pharmacy, psychologist, right? We have all of these, I'm not going to say middle degrees, but it's a graduate degree. But the concern is that people are like, man, I spent so much money in undergrad, or I had to get this loan out of undergrad.
Come on, loans. Come on, loans.
I don't know if I want to get another loan to go to.
That's the biggest complaint.
School.
Yep.
Right. It's the biggest complaint.
Yep.
And it's the biggest fear, but it's also the biggest miseducation.
Yeah.
And so when I realized there was that gap there, and I met you years ago, and I was like, you know what? You do a great job of helping people get that doctoral degree. I help people do a great job of getting that BS degree. And it's like, you know what? In the middle, let's fill that gap.
Yes.
Right? Let's fill that gap. So we talked about getting a doctoral degree for free. We talked about getting an undergraduate degree for free. And Dr. Kessler, I'm so proud to partner with you. And now we can help people get a graduate degree for free, and being able to fill that gap to help those that, want to get an MBA, want to get a MS degree, want to get a master's degree in communication or divinity or music or law, whatever that middle ground is for you. We want to show you that not only can you get a BS degree for free, not only can you get a doctoral degree for free, but you can also get that master's degree, that MBA, that graduate degree for free. So I'm excited that we have some really cool stuff that we're putting together to help individuals get that graduate degree for free.
And super excited about it. Super excited. So you all, the graduate degree for free session, whether it's a master's or a doctoral degree, is going to be April the 25th at 7 p.m. April the 25th at 7 p.m. You have plenty of time to get to register for this event. But listen, don't wait till the last minute, because you're going to miss out on some cool information and some cool things we're going to do. You want to register at graduate degree for free. All right. Graduate degree for free.com. So we're going to share some information with you, but that's the juice for tonight. Graduate degree for free. We want you to be able to get your master's and your doctoral degree for free. Why? Because we want you to be a legend. We want you to be able to leave that important information to the next generation, so you can make a dynamic difference in the world through your education. So,
Dr. Kessler, you said something to me a few months ago, which I thought was powerful. It was like, let's normalize teaching our young people, go get a master's degree, doctoral degree.
Absolutely.
Let's normalize, let's make that cool.
Absolutely.
You've been in school since kindergarten, keep going, right? Because like we talked about earlier, like, so let's say benefits, right? Like one of the biggest benefits of having a graduate degree or doctoral degree is career advancement, right? Like, can we go ahead and normalize with our kids and say, hey, baby girl, hey, young man, let's get you on the top side of your career. Let's get you to an advanced career level, and hey, go ahead and do that now as and get that graduate degree, that doctoral degree. And the amazing thing about this, Dr. Kesson, I noticed that when I was at Lehigh University, and I believe it's part of our culture here in America. Most of the graduate students that were the American graduate students, they were trying to get that degree so they can go work a corporate job to go get that money. But there were students coming from other countries to America to get their graduate degree and then going on to get that doctoral degree. So now they can take that information and that legacy back to their country.
Absolutely.
So it's like you come over here, right? You're coming over here, you soak up and take all of the great opportunities that we have here. So now you can carry a legacy back to their home country. Whereas here, it's like, oh, I got to pay bills. Let me do what needs to be done, right? Just to pay bills. But there's something about you can advance in your career, can become a thought leader, can become that legacy leader, like the person that says, hey, pass this down. And I think it's so important now that we should normalize going to get an advanced degree.
Absolutely.
Just normalize it with our kids.
You know, when I finished undergrad, my dad's question was always, what's next? Like, my department chairperson said, you know, you need to get a master's degree. It was not even an option to not get your master's degree. Like, it wasn't even an option. 90% of the people who were in my undergrad class went to get their MSWs. Many of us got it for free. In fact, what she said to us, and I'll never forget it, she said, this is not the first time that you have gone to the highest bidder, that our people have gone to the highest bidder. So I want you to consider going to the school that's going to give you the most money.
Hold on. Was that what you call it? An oism? What is it called?
Well, yeah, that's an oism, but it came from me. But yeah,
a K-ism, I guess. Like
K-ism.
I love this. It's not the first time you've gone to the highest bidder.
No, it's not the first time.
That's deep.
So go where they're gonna pay you to come. Put some money in your pocket. And then when it was time for me to get my doctoral degree, I was teaching, and she said, the same person, because long story, but she said, I need you to get your doctoral degree. And I was like, I'm good. She said, no, the doctoral degree is going to give you opportunities that having a master's is not. Right. It's going to open doors for you that you cannot see at this point, but I need you to get your doctoral degree. Same advice. I said, where do I go? She gave me some criteria, some things to think about, which I've shared in my other book, some things to think about. But she said, who's going to pay your way? Who's going to give you the most money and have the degree and the resources that you need? Yeah.
I love the fact, but it was like this word opportunity. You know, it's like, I tell people all the time. So I do something where I have some keys in my hand, right? And we know that keys are designed to open up certain doors.
Yes.
Right. So a BS degree, I knew for me, a BS degree in chemistry, that key was going to only be able to unlock a few doors. Right. So then I went on to get a master's degree, which is another key that can open up a few doors. But you think, you know, having a doctoral degree key, now that opens up some other doors or some other opportunities. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it, is like the opportunities to connect with other professionals, right? Opportunities to connect with other people in research,
Yes.
opportunities to sit at the head of the table to
Yes.
make decisions about a whole industry. And I think that's one of the cool things, that another benefit there is just like the opportunities, the networking opportunities, the conversations that take place just because you have a
You have.
key
That's
to
right.
be able to get inside that room.
That's right. That's right. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Listen, we're going to share more information. We're going to give you some keys, Candace. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to give you some
Right.
keys to the financial kingdom, okay?
Mm-hmm.
April the 25th. We're going to we're going to give you information that you're going to need so that you can get your graduate degree for free, your master's, your doctorate. You don't have to pay for it. Here is the information, right? We're going to give you information to help you get your graduate degree for free. So, graduate degree for free. The link, we're going to post this right here on the screen. The link is here. You can register today. You can register today. We're going to give you, listen, the information we're going to give you is so valuable that it is priceless.
Yeah.
It's priceless. You're not going to get it anywhere else. It's priceless. And our intentions are to help position you for your next. We want you to be a legend in giving back, give resources to other folks. So,
Yeah. Because I got another story I don't think I've ever told you. So,
listen, if you tell me there's another opportunity to get your doctorate, I'm going to come down to
you know
Decatur.
what? No, this is no. So this is my So this weekend, my mom's birthday this weekend.
Happy birthday, mama.
Yeah, my mom turned 77.
Yes.
Also, my sister is pregnant, and so we had a baby shower this weekend. And so this is the first baby in our family, right? So I'm gonna be Uncle Cantus, right?
Yeah.
And right, and so I was sitting, my sister's in town. She's actually here now, and so my sister has a doctoral degree. And so I asked my sister, I said, hey, when you were coming out of undergrad, I said, how much was your graduate degree? She was like, I don't know. I was like, what you mean? I don't know. She said, somebody else paid for it. And I was like, I said, how did they pay for it? She was like, well, because my sister went to North Carolina A&T, right? And so she went to undergrad at North Carolina A&T. And because of the great work she had did there in A&T, they had already known her, already worked with her. And they said, you know what? Like first of all, you got like in-state tuition now because you've been living here for a while. And she went on and got that master's degree from A&T, right? Paid for. And then she went on to get that doctoral degree. And what I was saying to myself was like, generationally. So my dad has one master's degree. I have 2 master's degrees.
Yes.
My sister has a master's degree and a doctoral degree. And then I'm thinking, and my wife's husband, right? He has advanced degrees, but now I'm thinking about my sister's husband, right? My sister's husband.
You said my wife's husband. I was like,
I'm sorry, my sister, you know what I mean, right? Right. But I'm thinking about my niece.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
So if my
it's
dad
gonna be
had
the norm for her. It's gonna be the norm.
Right. It should become the norm. So it's like, oh, baby girl, your uncle went to school for free. Your mama went to school for free. Baby, it's easy for you to go to school for free.
Yeah.
And passing that information down, she'll probably be looking at going to grad school in probably 20, 25 years from now. Right. But here's the crazy thing, right? We do know that the price of these degrees are going to go up. But like we said, by giving the information, giving people the strategies, the keys to know how to find the money, know how to locate the money, know how to make a decision on where you should go, what's best for
Yes.
your career long term. I think
Yes.
those are the things that people need to hear that we're going to share at graduatedegreeforfree.com.
And listen, the other piece is you are breaking the generational curse of debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're not spending the 10s and 20s and 30s. I know a person who finished their doctoral degree, almost $300,000 in educational debt.
Mm-hmm.
My God,
Mm-hmm.
$300,000. We don't want that for you.
Right.
So we're gonna give you the information.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna give you that's gonna release you and the next generations.
Mm-hmm.
From
what, another thing, Dr. Kesselin, this is a new phrase that I've been hearing just at the bachelor's level, right? A phrase that's been coming up is generational student loan debt. So what generational student loan debt is, mama and daddy, they're still paying back on the student loan, right? And their son or their daughter is coming out of high school, going to college, and they're concerned about debt, right? And I'm like, well, maybe there was something mama and daddy didn't know that now we can learn to help little Johnny, little Bonquisha, little Sally, little David, little Kesselin come out of where they don't have to be in college student loan debt. Yeah. And the same thing is true. Like maybe you're listening to this and maybe you're timid about going to get a graduate degree because you already have some debt, right?
Yeah.
By understanding the keys, now you can go ahead and, pursue that graduate degree. Or maybe you have people, Dr. Kesselin, who are currently in graduate school and they've stopped. It's like on pause because it's
I hear that often. I hear that often.
It's like I don't have any more money. Yeah. Let me go work this job. Yeah. Right. And here's another
stop out. People stop out. That's what it's called.
They stop out. But also too, there are many people that I know who are working a full-time job while trying to get this graduate degree at the same time. And what I find is now, because of energy's sake, they don't have enough energy to really put into the graduate degree, right? So now they are procrastinating, they're cramming, they're waiting to the last minute, staying up all times of night trying to finish the graduate assignment because they're managing their full-time job.
Yeah.
But what if we could show you how you can focus fully and have all the resources you needed to pay that graduate degree, that doctorate degree, and maybe not have to work full-time.
Right.
And matter of fact, you're getting paid. You're getting paid
that
to get
part.
your graduate degree or doctorate degree, like getting
by your employer.
Right, getting paid, and now you can focus on that graduate degree.
Oh,
and then
man.
you can focus on that career there as well too.
So we're gonna give you the keys. We're gonna give you the keys so you can get the degree for free and not have to deal with some of the challenges associated with that. This was so good, Candace.
Yeah,
I can't help but notice that O is in the comments talking about, she said, payism. It's not an O-ism, it's not a K-ism, it's a payism.
I love it. A payism. I love that.
Payism.
A payism. Yeah, a payism.
Oh man, this is so good. This is so good. Well, listen, April 25th, that's the day.
Yep. Go graduatedegreeforfree.com.
Graduatedegreeforfree.com. So, Candace, we usually wrap up the show with just talking a bit about what we have going on. We call it house calls, doctor's house calls. And we talk about what we're doing and where we're going. Where you always have a speaking gig somewhere. Yep. What's on the docket for the next couple of?
So last week I was in Knoxville, Tennessee, doing a STEM presentation. So because of my degrees, I'm a STEM guy. In a few days here, I'll be in Colorado, speaking to some students, nice. I believe high school students and college students, about how to go about, pursuing STEM degrees. One of the things that I'm so excited about, I have a new book coming out, which is called
Hey.
STEM is Everywhere. STEM is Everywhere. Maybe it's STEMiseverywhere.com. But the idea, like, and this goes back to what we was talking about earlier, is like, I was that minority going from the undergrad to the graduate field, right? And being like one of the only Black men in that field.
Yes.
And the reason why in the area of science and engineering, I knew growing up, we always said, science is hard and math is hard and engineering is hard. Even so much so, I remember telling that they used to tell girls that girls are to go into nursing. Girls are to go into home ec. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
right.
the STEM is Everywhere book, it's a book of activities where we're showing how to make STEM cool, science, technology, engineering, and math cool, right? Showing parents and teachers how to incorporate these activities on an elementary level, or kindergarten level, elementary level, middle school level, high school level, to realize that, hey, STEM is everywhere. Like when you cut your hair, that's STEM, right? When you wash your hair, that's STEM. When you're trying to drive from here to Maryland, that's STEM. When you lay down to go to sleep, that's STEM. When that pimple grows on your face, my middle schoolers, right? That's STEM. And then now, how can we turn this pimple conversation into learning biology? How can we turn this pimple conversation, or even like what's real big now? A lot of people are playing Fortnite, right?
Yes.
People are playing video games. I went to a school last week, Dr. Kessler, and I cussed them out without cussing them out. And I said, speaking to some elementary school teachers, I said, y'all losing. They was like, what? I said, y'all losing. They said, why? I said, you're losing because our young people, they are more attracted to video games than they are with coming to your class. And I tell people all the time, whoever has the most attention is the real teacher. Believe it or not, Dr. Kessler. Yeah, whoever has the most attention is the real teacher.
Attention is the real teacher.
Check this out. Go look at your kid's phone. For kids that have phones, their screen time on their phone is more than their class time. So who's the real teacher? And this is why I encourage teachers like, hey, you need to go play Fortnite. You need to go play Halo. You need to sit down with your kids and play and understand, why does this have their attention so much? And then take the foundations of the Fortnite in those video games. And now we can talk about math. Now we can talk about science. Now we can talk about engineering. Hey, let's talk about when you sent your text message to your friend, what was the engineering and the technology of you saying LOL and it going through the airways and the internet line to end up at another person's phone? So now we teach STEM based off of what people love. We teach STEM based off of what they're living. And if you teach it that way, now they can learn it. So we want to help them love it, help them live it, and then help them learn it, versus trying to help them learn it, then live it, and then love it.
Yeah. You are singing O's song. She's a STEM person. She's screaming, Val screaming.
Dr. Val!
Hey, Val, we were on the day. She's coming around the mountain.
Dr. Val is up soon, right?
Yep. Dr. Val is up soon.
Dr. Val is
up soon. Yes. So that's good. So you're going to Colorado. I am, let's see, where was I last week? I forgot where I was at the beginning of the week. But at the end of the week, I was having a conversation with some Christian social workers.
Okay.
We had a 2-day virtual training called Ready, Set, Restore, and I did a session on on African American Christian women as leaders and lessons that we can learn. And that was really cool. That was really cool. And then this week, Wednesday, I'm on a podcast with Dr. Boatswain. Dr. Boatswain.
Okay.
There's a podcast, and we're going to be talking about some of the work that I do. A lot of the work that I do focuses on empowerment of women. Right. And of course issues of abuse. But this Wednesday on LinkedIn, we're talking about a group that kind of evolved called Speaking Up Together. It's a group of women in higher education, and it actually came about as a result of recognizing some of the mental health challenges of Black women in the academy. And so that's going to be on Wednesday. And then Thursday, Candace, I got the sweetest invitation this morning. Okay. It was the sweetest, the second sweetest invitation. I will be speaking at my 8th grade daughter's graduation. Isn't that the coolest?
Wow. That's amazing.
Isn't that cool? And the kids voted me. The kids voted for Auntie Kesslin to come speak. So that's going to be cool. And then this morning, I got an invitation to speak at the school's honors program.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. So that's this week.
Yeah. Congratulations.
So a lot of stuff. Thank you. A lot of stuff coming up. So yes, listen, y'all, April 25th, 7 o'clock, April 25th, 7 o'clock, April 25th, 7 o'clock. You want to be at Graduate Degree for Free. So graduatedegree4free.com. Candace, anything else before we wrap up? Doc, we went extra tonight.
No, I'm proud of you. You know, you said something to me. This might have been last year. This was right after
because we've been in this thing for a minute now.
Yeah, I know. This was might have been last year or so, and you were saying, Candace, do you know all the work that you've been doing over these years that you could have been using that work towards your doctoral degree? You know,
sound familiar, Val? Val, does that sound familiar?
Right. I remember, like the idea is like, okay, you got books published and different things published, and you've been in this field for more than 20 years, and it's like, bro, like I'm writing my dissertation every time. You are
writing the dissertation.
All the time. It's like, so I need to just figure out, just really lock into. All right, how can I take what I'm already doing?
Come on, let me bless you. Let me bless you. Let me bless you like you blessed me. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me let me take this stuff I've already been doing, and I did do some research though on like a STEM education doctorate degree or something. I saw that some school I'd never heard of, but I was like, the resources are out there. They're definitely out there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I may need to
come on,
re-enroll in doctoral success.
Schedule.
Okay, Dr. Kessler /schedule. Okay.
No, you can call me. You just call me. I got you.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. But,
all right, y'all. We're gonna hop off. Go ahead. You were saying you want to.
I was gonna tell you thank you. You know, from day one, you know, being able to connect with you and just your spirit, your energy. The old folks say kindred spirits. Kindred spirits.
Them good old Southern kindred spirits.
Yeah, good old Southern kindred spirit. And I just want to salute you and just thank you for all the amazing work that you've done. Letting me serve and support you. You know, I can't find my other book though.
Here it is.
I can't find my other book. Yeah, that one. I can't find. I think I have that one. I believe you sent me a copy of that one.
You have it. Listen, none of them would exist without you. And listen, let me just tell you all the truth. Had it not been for Candace Simmons, there would be no Dr. Kesslin in this way. Because Candace is the brains behind the operation that inspired all of this. So Candace, let me thank you. And I am not going to get emotional in this moment. But Candace, really, thank you, because you just set a new trajectory for my purpose in life. So thank you, and I mean that. Yeah,
I'm honored. It's been a pleasure. It's been It's been a pleasure. There's always people you can call clients or customers. And then there's people that you can like, man, we got purpose together. We got purpose together. I love that word, Kona, that area of fellowship and partnership. And that's one of the things that I've always seen Kesslin and Koinonia going together. And that's always been my idea, my thought towards you. So
Kesslin and Cantus and Koinonia.
Come on. Is that the KKK?
Come on. No, not no. The new KKK.
We're the new KKK. We're taking over Kesslin, Cantus, and Koinonia? Let me get off this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Maybe we should just mark it. We the new KKK. I don't know if we should say that, but maybe
that
we
could
should.
be problematic.
I love catching the new K's are taking over, right? Like maybe I love like crazy marketing ideas. We the new KKK.
Lord. Oh, come get them. Oh, come get them, please. Come get them, Lord. Anyway,
hey, we having a new KKK meeting on April 25th. We're doing the intake. Everybody gonna be wearing caps and gowns for this.
She said we're taking it back. Oh,
we're taking it back.
Oh, look, we're gonna have to find a new tagline for that one because listen, let me stop. I got jokes running through my head. They may not be appropriate for the podcast.
Right.
So anyway, y'all, we will see you on April the 25th. Let me wrap this up by reminding you that the doctoral degree, it is not merely a degree of intelligence. It is a degree of persistence. And we are here to help you persist. Why? Because your research matters. All right. Your research matters. All right. Let's get out of here, Cantus. Love you, Mom and Dad. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.